everyone and welcome! Today we are starting a new series. So last week I finished off Cowboy Bebop and I thought about what I was going to replace it with. And I've got basically a list. I've got like on my schedule document, I've got a list of shows that I've been, I've thought about watching, thought about putting on the channel. And I was like looking through that list and thinking like, well, what am I going to put next? And I thought, I don't do that many live action shows, but I do some of them, the last one I remember doing is Alice in Borderland, but maybe I did a different live action show that I can't remember right now. But generally, there's a lot of animation on this channel, and not as many live action shows. But I have wanted to do some certain shows, and I was trying to think like, what am I gonna put on there? And I thought, I don't want to commit myself to a really long show. I just want to kind of see how we go with something shorter. And then I remembered and saw on there that Fallout was there, and Fallout is only 8 episodes right now, so we should be done it pretty quick. I don't know if many people in this channel are going to even want to see it, so I don't actually expect these videos to get much attention, because especially since the hype for this show isn't a thing anymore really, because the show came out ages ago. Not ages ago, but it came out, sometime earlier in the year, and everyone was talking about it then. Not so much now. At the time, I think my schedule was pretty packed, and I didn't know if it was going to vibe with the channel, so I didn't do it. But if it does end up vibing with the channel, if I like the show, and or if you guys like my reactions to it, please let me know, and I will do more of it. I mean, I'll do like season 2 maybe when it comes out on this channel or something, if it seems like it's a good idea. But I have genuinely been excited to get into this. I mean, all today, while I was like doing other work, or I was going to get food, I was doing all this other stuff throughout the day, I was thinking like, oh, I get to start Fallout today. I'm really excited for that. And I'll give you guys some context on my relationship with Fallout as a series, soon. So like, make sure to watch that before you watch the reaction, just so that you know more about, what I'm feeling going into it. But yeah, basically I wanted a live action show in this slot, a short one. I don't know what, I don't have any plans for what is going to come after Fallout yet, but, just keep your eye out whenever that happens. It's probably going to go back to an anime of some sort. But this is a nice little, break in there, because, I don't do a crazy amount of live action shows, but this will be a nice departure, I think. So, Fallout. I didn't watch this when it came out, but I heard really good things. And I mean, mostly, oopsie, I accidentally clicked play. Mostly what I heard was that it was good. It was a good adaptation of Fallout. I mean, I don't think it's any of the story from the games of Fallout. It's just set in the world of Fallout. I know that Ella Purnell is in it and Walton Goggins is in it. Those are the 2 main ones that I know. I think there might be someone else that I know in it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think Walton Goggins is great. I haven't seen him in that much, honestly, but I do quite like him. Honestly, whenever I think of Walton Goggins, I think Justified, which I haven't actually seen, but I know that was like kind of one of his big things, like what kind of made him big-ish early, even though it's not a massive show. And he was in an episode of Community in season 5, episode 5, I think, of Community, something like that, 4 or 5. He was the guy who was giving them the lie detector test, and I like him in that episode. So I like Walton Goggins. He's cool. Ella Purnell, however, over the past few months, I have been getting kind of more and more obsessed with that woman. Every time I kind of like, I knew about her beforehand. And I kind of knew, oh, she's like a cool actress and she's Jinx in Arcane. So like, I was like, well, yeah, I know who she is from that, but I didn't really know too much. But then over the past few months, I mean, especially she's been doing a lot more, media cycles, whether it's advertising Arcane or advertising, she's in like a serial killer show or something, and, or advertising, Fallout. Like there's a bunch of stuff that she's she's advertising, and in that time, I've kind of fallen for her. And so I'm really excited to see this, mostly for her, because she's absolutely incredible. She seems really charismatic and adorable and very pretty. And so I like everything about her. And she's a fantastic actress if, you know, Arcane especially is anything to go by. And also, I mean, good news for me, I think from what I've heard about her character in this, I haven't seen any clips of her character or anything, but from what I've heard about her character in this, she might be exactly my type of character. I tend to really like sort of optimistic women, like cute optimistic women in stuff. I think I've heard that's what she's like in this. I don't know that for a fact. We're gonna find out when we watch the show, but I'm saying that, you know, as that's kind of like what I've heard going into this, so maybe it'll be great. And my relationship with Fallout in general, I have played Fallout 3 and 4, I believe. I think those are the two main Fallout games that I've played. I did not play Fallout 1 or 2. I'm not proficient in the lore of the two games that I've played. Far from it. I played them once, I think all the way through both games. Maybe I didn't finish Fallout 4. Maybe I got really close to finishing Fallout 4. I played it for quite a while, but I don't think I ever got to the end of it. Fallout 3 I did finish, but I cannot remember really anything about it. Mostly what I remember about Fallout is the gameplay. I was, at the time, paying attention to the story, and I liked it, but I just didn't really remember it afterwards. But that also was a time in my life where I was way worse at retaining story stuff. As I am now. Now that I run this channel and I've done a lot more, you know, TV stuff, and I focus a lot more on stuff when I watch it now, it's a lot easier for me to retain a lot of that information. So if I played them now, I would get a lot more out of it, I think. But yeah, I think those are the ones I've played. I've heard great things about New Vegas. I haven't really properly sat down to play New Vegas at any point, but I've heard from a lot of people that that's kind of the best one. And yeah, I didn't play any Fallout 76. I did play the iPhone game for a bit, but that doesn't really count. So I know kind of about the world. I know what I'm getting into, that it's sort of like, you know, we're going to be getting into kind of a wastelandy world. There are vaults, you know, there's a lot of radiation everywhere. There are those big, you know, armored suits. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I think, the gist of it. So, I know this is a long intro, I'm sorry for that, but I think it is important to set my expectations for the show so that you guys know going into it. And if you're new to this channel, I do tend to talk quite a lot. So, make sure to stick around for the discussion after the episode to hear me talk quite a lot more. I tend to go like as deep as I can into the characters themselves. That's what I care about more than anything. So I anticipate I'm going to be talking about Ella Purnell a lot when this episode ends. So, you know, brace yourself for that, because I'm a huge simp in general. So I might be gushing over her. I don't know. I'm just kind of expecting that's what's going to happen. But if you're not new to this channel, if you've seen my stuff before, you expect that going into it. I'm sure you guys are quite used to it at this point. But yeah, make sure to support the video, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You can go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, and you can get next week's episode on there right now, which means episode 2 of Fallout should be on there as we speak. So go check it out. But let's finally jump into this. This is Fallout Season 1, Episode 1. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's like an old school music vibe to Fallout. The end. There's Goggins. I always get worried when people are standing on a horse that it's hurting the horse. I don't know if it is or not. I kind of doubt it. Oh, those guys! The robot boys! I forgot to mention that I played a Fallout TTRPG. Oh, wait. Are we gonna see the moment where the atomic bomb drops? I kind of want to see that.
Alright, birthday boy. Let's get a photo.
Yeah, it looks like you can see the whole city. There's a reason they're doing that. Cooper Howard.
And I'm lucky to have such a good helper like you.
Aww.
All right.
Oh, Coop. Do your thumbs up.
Why is this kind of
Yeah,
awkward?
given the state of everything, I prefer not to if that's all right.
Hmm?
What's for?
Drop
Yeah.
it, Bob.
We gotta.
Who's ready for cake?
All right. You ready, Janie?
So what's the thumbs up thing?
That Los Angeles sunshine coming through. Ow, I can't.
They're all sitting in front of the
Sorry, I can't
TV
see-
to
I
watch the
can't see
weather?
Sugar Bob presents Protect the Barbarian.
There you go. That's why they're sitting in front of the TV.
All right.
I like that him and his daughter are
That's everything.
like matching.
You do it. The thumbs up.
Yeah, that's my question.
Now you run for the hills.
And if it's bigger than your thumb,
It's too late.
They told us not to bother running.
do you think
Shit.
it's gonna happen?
I certainly hope not.
So he,
But us cowboys.
Oh,
we take it
man.
as it comes, right?
so he's actually anticipating it.
See, if I can't rustle you up, please.
Oh, cute. Can my daughter have a piece? No! Oh God. Oh God. Hold up your thumb. She immediately is doing it.
Coming up for my favorite cowgirl.
She's got small thumbs
Is
as
it your
well.
thumb or mine?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, she's so scared. The actress is so good.
That's smoke, Janie. It's just a fire.
Holy shit. Just a fire? Look how huge it is. Oh, man. Yeah, it's bigger than my thumb. Shit. Oh, God. I know they say don't bother running, but you have to have some sort of hope, right? Oh, right, there's shelters. What? No room? You sure? Want to try it out first? Oh. Man, horse. Run like your life depends on it. He would be faster if you weren't standing on him before. You weakened him. Oh. Oh, more bombs everywhere. Holy shit. See, it's terrifying and disturbing, but I always love watching scenes like that. It's so fascinating to me. Because I never want to see anything like that in real life. 219 years later, Jesus.
My name is Lucy McLean.
Hello!
I act for the well-being of my community.
Lucy
skills.
McLean.
I speech skills. My primary passion is teaching American history with a focus on
This is like her going through a character
I also
sheet.
participate in intermediate phys ed,
Nice.
though I'm not very good.
What? You were getting like 9s, weren't
In
you?
my personal gardening, also with my dad. I'm participating in my family.
Is her dad gonna die?
Still
She's
trying to
mentioning
get
her
my
dad a
garden
lot.
board. My reproductive organs are intact.
Awesome.
My hygiene well maintained. I have been unable to find a suitable marriage partner. At least
Can I
one I'm not
volunteer?
related to, and we have rules about that for a reason. Participate in the triennial trade with Vault 32.
Trade. Oh, it's dude from Succession. Not Succession. Severance. Marriage application approved. Lucy. So she's going to a different vault? Is that what she's doing?
On my wedding night, that dress got off almost as fast as Bert did.
After 10 years of cousin stuff, I'm definitely excited for the real thing.
Cousin stuff.
Lucy.
So, is it just an arranged marriage that she volunteered for? Sometimes I'm a little slow on picking up plot points, and sometimes I'm fine. But I get self-conscious that I'm always slow. Magic of 3D. So it's a hologram field. I see.
She looked just like your mother.
Yeah, I wish she was here.
Oh.
Me? Terrified.
Overseer? It's time.
Yeah, so they're in Vault 33 right now. What's the one that she agreed with the trade for? Is it 32?
Must be nerve-wracking. Your husband could be anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Where?
I'm scared of that.
His looks,
Who knows?
big butt, no butt. Right. And in that respect, you could be a cannibal, just like Krampus. Norman.
Well, now she's thinking, well, I might marry a cannibal.
Damn. It's gonna take some time to fix. Probably best if we reschedule with the 32.
Does he not want her to leave?
Lucy, I love you.
Well.
We all know that, Jent. Messing around with your cousin, it's not good for practice, you know?
Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy how casually they talk about that. But I mean, in these vaults, I suppose you're surrounded by almost nothing but family, you know? So much of them is your family. Alright, which one of you cucks is marrying me?
We offer you seed and parts for machinery.
In exchange, we offer you a breeder.
Nice. So what about my husband? What's it gonna be?
I'm Lucy. Do you have a name?
Oh, okay.
Monty.
Monty. He looks fine. Pretty good. Yeah. He looks like he could be weird though, like the way he's standing, but it's a weird way to judge someone.
So what's your sperm count?
Oh my god. What a combo starter.
That the next generation, Lucy and Monty's children, will be able to recolonize.
That would be very cool.
That mean old world will change us instead. But then I look at my daughter. And such a beautiful bride. Her new husband.
Aww. This is a cute wedding scene. I like this. It's okay, man. What are we seeing? What? Why is it spooky?
Show me to my new home.
Okay. You already into him?
This is us.
I mean, Lucy seems pretty horny, so she's probably ready for fucking.
Every big moment of our lives is gonna happen right here.
And by horny, I mean she's
Picture the Christmas morning.
she just wants to have
and
sex for the
tree.
reproduction, I
We have
think.
eggs, a blender. They even gave us.
He's already ready for it. Here's my cock. Ready? That's she's down for it. On the table. You guys have a bed. There's a bed right over there. What the fuck? Was that like that before? What the? Did he just wipe himself on the curtains? What was that? I'm nervous about where this is going. Oh god. Oh. Okay, so that's vault 32. That's their vault. Like the Monty's vault. Right? High radiation levels. Oh. You have radioactive sperm inside you. Shit. Oh, jeez. Well, she was good at all the combat stuff, right? I mean, it seems he's pretty well trained as well. Oh, nice. It's probably extra raw right now. Jeez. Don't hesitate. Nice. Oh! Did she stab him yet? Kind of sounded like she did. Oh, it was the other way around. Fuck! Shit, man! Nice. Oh! Jesus! Do you leave it in? I think you... Oh, Jesus. Gotta put pressure on that wound. Good, you got med kits. Oh yeah, that's right. There's that special drug in Fallout. And by special drug, I think it's just morphine or something. Okay, so the reason everything was fucked up in their vault is because the raiders came and fucked everything up and then pretended to be them. Walking around in a wedding dress, bleeding, with a gun. I'd be kind of scared if I saw her. Jesus! Oh, it's a trank gun. Oh no, her dad's gonna die. I thought they were setting up for, you know, her dad being so important in her life. He's stopping the murder to eat some cake. Oh! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Used his head as a silencer. Nice! Oh. Yes, man! Oh! This is pretty fucking brutal. Oh my god. Oh!
Please don't make me use force.
Oh no. Maybe you should have just married your cousin. Oh. Jesus! It doesn't have any sort of like, you know, safety thing, like it senses if it touches something. Nice. Okay, good. Saved your brother, right? Oh god! Jesus, man! How are you walking around? Yes, okay. Dad's here. Oh, don't let Dad die. Oh. Yeah, I mean, this guy fucked up his daughter's wedding night. Enter vault door breach. Shit, man. Shit, man! Is he gonna close the vault door? We might close the doors. Oh, no, okay.
Welcome.
It's too late now. Damn it, Lee Moldova, right?
Them or her?
Her, please. Her, please. I'd choose Ella Purnell over 1,000 people, I think. Jesus! Oh.
You look like your mother.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Where are you? You should see it sometime.
Oh, so is she gonna go? Is she gonna go to the surface to try to save her dad? Is that her goal in this show? And so these people don't like vault dwellers who are just like hiding away from their problems, not being on the surface. Jesus! She's safe in there? I imagine so. I mean, she's a protagonist. I think she survives. Maximus.
Mostly blood.
I thought this episode was coming to an end, but we're like not even halfway through.
If they ask me, I guess I
don't know anything about Maximus. I've never...
I've been unhappy.
I know there's Walton Goggins in the show, and I knew Ella Purnell. I don't know this guy at all.
It is the duty of the Brotherhood of Steel to secure the wasteland.
Brotherhood of Steel.
One day as squires,
Oh.
you will help knights fight.
Aspirant Maximus.
So is he like in the big suits? Is that who this guy's gonna be? In the power suits?
This?
Rotor.
Oh!
You are more useful as a corpse.
Jeez, man. Is that a blimp? Damn. Damn, that's a cool design. Look at that. That's so cool looking.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Oh fuck no, these are the power suit dudes. Ugh. Oh, the fucking bugs. Oh, you see the suits up close. Was he saved by one at some point?
My idea. He
You're
didn't
being
want.
summoned. Come with me.
Summoned? It didn't sound like you were necessarily in trouble.
I look at you, I fall in love.
At least basketball's kind of still on. They're throwing bricks? Jesus, I get hit in the head with a basketball constantly while playing. If the basketball was a brick?
What's going on? A bunch of us were chosen to get anointed.
So you weren't in trouble.
Hey, what's your title?
So you're gonna be left behind by your main friend, it seems like. Don't take it out on the toilet, man. People need to do their business there. Oh. Man, I thought he'd just be like mildly bothered by it. He hates it. Interesting. Oh! Oh! Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's so fucked. Did he do that? Like, Jesus. We're going back here. Oh, I don't want to see that. Thank you. No, thank you. Oh. Oh, that's very uncomfortable. Oh, I'm always afraid it's gonna split open again.
I have a proposal for the assembly.
Go get him back. Go get my dad back.
Opening the outer vault door?
Just for under a minute. Okay, it's
You would
just
let it
enough
like
time to-
radiation and stuff.
I know it's not something that we ever do or have ever done. Never, ever.
I know that.
I know. Let's move on.
They don't want to find Dad. If they did, they wouldn't get to be in charge.
Damn. She's gonna open the door herself and just go out there alone. Feels so strange seeing, what's his name, Vault Boy or whatever, in a show. So it says don't lose your head, but she just saw don't lose. Is that the implication there?
Bad as everyone else's.
There's Nuka-Cola there. Oh shit. Secret mission. So are all three of them going out, or are they just working with her to get her out? Looks like she's the one that's geared up. Yeah, I think they're just helping her. Oh, that's cool. That'd give me butterflies.
I'm going with you.
No, you're not. Hold the elevator, dude! Hold the elevator, dude! He got distracted.
Hurt on my behalf.
Shit. Shit. You better tell Lucy.
And I'll do the same to you if you try to follow me.
Oh, this is very cute, but there's an elevator coming. Full of people trying to stop you, probably. Okay, well, the doors are opening now. They surely can't stop it now. Shit. It's not like a... I thought it'd be a huge crew with guns or whatever. But it's just like 2 people. Go for it! She's probably never felt wind before, right? Or real sun. Unless they have done like excursions out, but I don't think so because they said they were making a big deal about the fact that they don't want to open the outer door. I mean, where do you even start? Like, you've got the whole world. Where do you search? I guess you just try to find any sort of settlements and talk to people. That looks cool as shit. Whoa. Seeing the ocean would be a magical experience, I think.
Okie dokie.
Okay, back to Maximus.
We have given you a name,
Isn't this the dude from Mr. Robot?
education, a place in the world.
I've never seen this actor in anything else other than Mr. Robot, and he's so weird in
We
Mr.
expect
Robot.
you, Aspirant Dane.
Yes.
You're aware of their injury.
Yes.
Their
You know,
injury,
give
so
it.
they them pronouns? I was avoiding using pronouns for
No.
them until I found out.
Your fellow aspirants say it was you.
Does make sense. You assaulted a toilet when you found out they were leaving.
No,
It's gotta be scary hearing the movements behind you.
I wanted it to happen. Is that wrong?
Aww. So he didn't do it, but he's not mad about it.
Weak?
He doesn't seem super strong.
You have anything else to say? In your defense?
Are they gonna kill him? He's a good actor. I'm seeing a lot of thoughts in his eyes.
He's giving my own life. I'll do it.
Jeez. And that's kind of what they want out of their people, right?
And I'd be grateful to the Brotherhood for giving my life meaning.
You gotta keep this guy around.
You will be Knight Titus, new squire.
Whoa! He passed the test, huh? Oh, he's a really good actor. Hey, I got your promotion. Man, I don't know. Like,
I asked if it was you.
yeah, was it Maximus? Like, it still could have been. I don't know. He's not like vehemently denying it at any point. Did he do it? I don't know. Oh, fuck.
A profound potential
Okay.
to be cut by your sword.
It's so strange seeing this actor in anything other than Mr. Robot. Okay, some fucking nerd. and this dog. He's excited. Oh, he's so giddy about this. Oh! What the fuck? You shot with a baby leg? Oh my god.
How long has this asshole been moldering in the ground?
Is
How do
this-
we know he's not feral? That is why.
Is this gonna be Walton Goggins or what?
My little friend.
Cooper Howard, right? That's the name of Walton Goggins' character. Okay, he's stepping out. I think it is him. He's wearing the cowboy hat. Yeah, it is. The music's kind of cool.
Well, Amish production of the Count of Monte Cristo. Just the weirdest circle jerk I've ever been invited to.
It's so just a weird. We're in a weird Western show now.
I do not.
Oh, he wants the chicken.
Should I shoot him?
Would you shut the fuck up? We from the Enclave.
Okay, yeah, it's still
Lord,
this
makes you
guy.
think I'd give a good guy.
Dead witch, Moldaver
Moldaver?
in California.
Wait, that's Lee Moldaver is...
That's where you from, ain't it?
Is the bounty.
Whenever somebody says they're doing one last job, that usually means their heart's not in it. Probably. I do this shit for the love of the game.
Oh! Okay, so I guess you're turning down his offer. Jesus. That was a very Fallout type, like, head explosion, I feel like. The Ghoul. Nice. I like that they introduced that after we get properly introduced to his character. Oh, jeez.
We take it as it comes.
He already put him in the grave. Is that it? That's it. Oh, that's right. It's a Jonathan Nolan show. This season? Oh, no. I don't want to see that. Okay. All right, that's the first episode done. I have quite a lot of notes. If you don't know, by the way, if you are new to this channel, I take notes while I watch shows. So if I was looking down during that reaction, I should have mentioned beforehand, but if I was looking down, that's because I'm taking notes. Sometimes people are like, why aren't you looking at the screen? And it's like, I'm not like on my phone down here. I'm actually doing something that will help me, because it helps me remember names, it helps me remember some things that are happening, helps me recap myself when I do the next episode, like what happened, but mostly it helps me with this bit of the video, which is the discussions, because I like to know what to talk about. And I took quite a lot of notes in this episode, but I mean, that's kind of to be expected from a first episode. And also, when there's a show that I'm kind of like anxious that I'm gonna miss things in it, you know, that I'm not gonna like understand one of the main plots or whatever, when that anxiety hits me, I tend to take more notes, because I'm trying to make sure that I don't, you know, that I actually understand what's going on. So yeah, like that's, I'm being honest about the fact that I have mild anxiety about that, but it's not like there was anything particularly confusing in this episode. I don't think. It seems pretty simple. So yeah, good first episode. I enjoyed that. I like our three main characters, I imagine. So we got Lucy, we got Maximus, and we got the Ghoul is what they call him, but his person name is Cooper Howard. So seems like three solid characters. Like, they all have very different vibes to each other. They all have different factions, obviously, with Lucy being a vault dweller, and Maximus being a part of the Brotherhood of Steel, and then the Ghoul sort of looking like he's just a lone ranger now. I mean, it looks like he was going to be working with these guys, but then he was like, no, fuck you. But he did get the information from them, so I imagine he's still going to be doing the job. He just won't be doing it with them. He's just going to be doing it for himself. So I'm excited about that. Now, what I'm particularly interested in is, like, are these storylines going to match up with one another? Is that going to be like a end of season thing? Is that going to be an end of series thing? Is it or is it going to be one of those things where they combine together pretty soon and then they stay together? Or is it going to be one of those things where the stories constantly weave in and out of each other? Like, sometimes that happens, and I think that's normally my favorite application of it, but it's kind of hard to do, I feel like, where you can have these characters like meet up with each other, but they might still go their separate ways again, but then they will like come together, or like maybe they'll be in the same place and things that they're doing are affecting the other ones, but, you know, we don't necessarily have them, you know, doing things together. I don't know. But, you know, we do only have 8 episodes of this show so far in season 1. So it's hard to know, really. By the way, I did only remember when the credits came up, but this is directed by Jonathan Nolan, who Jonathan Nolan is the guy behind Westworld. And I know that he's Christopher Nolan's brother, and he's done a lot of stuff with Christopher Nolan. Like, I think he helped with, and by helped with, I mean, I think he was like the co-writer or whatever of like probably Inception, probably Interstellar, maybe, maybe The Prestige. I'm kind of pulling this out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure he worked on that stuff, and so he's, you know, he's a smart guy, he's a cool guy. In terms of my familiarity with him, I mean, I think Westworld's like his biggest like thing that he's known for. I feel like I watched the first season of Westworld and I enjoyed it at the time, but I didn't have any like, when season 2 came out, I wasn't like, oh, I need to see that, you know. I was pretty happy with what I saw of Westworld. It is funny though, like watching this episode, this show does kind of give me Westworld vibes. But I guess that's just it being kind of like a big budget production and following a bunch of different characters. And plus the Ghoul in this does remind me of, there was that guy in Westworld, I don't remember much about him at all, but he was sort of like a cowboy Lone Ranger dude. So that's kind of giving me Westworld vibes as well. And also just the fact that they're in like a sort of, you know, it's kind of a Western show, but not really a Western show. That whole vibe is cool as well. Where it's like, it seems like the Ghoul storyline specifically, he's in a Western show, but everyone else isn't, which is kind of funny. And it's funny that like they show the flashback or the, you know, the present day, like before it all happened. And he, and Cooper was like in a cowboy outfit and had a horse and all of that, but that was like part of his, I imagine, like stage persona type thing, right? So it was like he was a cowboy back then, but he wasn't like he wasn't really a cowboy. He was doing silly stuff, you know. He was playing a character, but now he's gonna be like a cowboy in the actual wasteland. It's kind of funny. So yeah. I liked this. I liked, you know, already getting to know these three characters. They all three of those characters had at least a moment in there that I was like, oh, okay, I can see why I care about this character. You know, like I think Maximus was the hardest one for me originally. When we started with his storyline, I was like, okay, am I going to care about this character? Am I going to be rooting for him or interested in his storyline at all? Because I immediately was looking at it and going like, well, the Brotherhood of Steel seems like a storyline that I'm going to connect with the least. And that might still be the case, but like I was watching it and I was thinking like, yeah, it seems like that's almost like an army show, like a war show going on there. And for me, I don't like army war type media too much. Like for example, I know Band of Brothers is like one of the most like well-regarded series of all time. It's like really popular and really well loved by many of the people who watch it. And I tried to watch it many times, and the latest time that I watched it, I got through almost all of the episodes. But just every time that I watch it, I was sitting down and it's like there are bits about it that I really like, and I think it's incredible. Like, it's an incredible show. It's incredibly well done. But I just really find it hard to connect with, like, war story type stuff. Like, I will acknowledge how sad it is, but I'm just not engaged by it. I just don't find it to be a particularly an engaging story to me. And so I remember just, yeah, like, I remember, like, in Band of Brothers specifically, the point at which, what's his name? Ross from Friends. I can't remember his actual name right now. When the point at which he wasn't in the show anymore was kind of the point where I wasn't as interested in it anymore, because I liked his character. I thought his character was very interesting, but from that point on, I wasn't as interested. So yeah, that's just, again, I like to give you guys context on what I like in TV shows so that you know how I feel about stuff. So Maximus, I keep calling him Maximum, but Maximus, like I wasn't sure if I would care about his storyline, because that's what it felt like going into it, is that it would be that. But I will say I really liked the scene of him talking to the Mr. Robot Man and like I think that scene was fully carried by Maximus's actor. Like he did a really good job, because like before that we see he's a pretty straight-laced, like, you know, he's a very, I hesitate to say bland, because I'm not trying to say that the character is bland, but the person that the character is bland, if you know what I mean. You know, the actor is not portraying a flat version of the character. He is portraying a very nuanced portrayal of a flat character, it feels like, you know. When he's speaking to people, he didn't seem to be a very emotive person overall. And so originally I was like, is this actor not emotive, or is it the character? But then in that scene I go, oh no, the actor's plenty emotive. Like the actor is acting the shit out of this scene. And it's really good because he was like very subtly doing it, but the scene was also directed very well, I think, because it puts a heavy focus on his eyes. I feel like it really lets us like take in everything that's going on in his eyes, and they don't rush through it at all. So I got really attached to that the guy in that scene, you know. So really cool. I will also say straight up that it seems like what's their name? Dane is non-binary, which is just kind of a cool detail, honestly. Like it doesn't have any bearing on anything that happened in the episode. But I just like representation, and it seems like just there's some casual non-binary representation in the episode. That's great. That's awesome, you know? It's really good. Yeah, anyway. I mean, and then it didn't take long to like the Ghoul. Like I think they kind of knew that character, we don't need much to buy into him, you know? We got the start of the episode, which is like, that was a great way to do it, is to give us the flashback at the start so that we know that this character was a good guy. He was fighting for something good, but he was also like part of the Marines or whatever, and he was like we learned quite a lot about him in that short amount of time, and connected with him and saw what his stakes were. And then we jumped forward like over 200 years or whatever, right? Yeah, 219 years later. So we jumped forward a long ass time, and now we see that he's a ghoul, and he's completely different kind of. So I like, we were already bought in when he comes out of that thing, but he also is just really cool, and that short scene is just, he's just very cool in that scene. So, you know, that it doesn't take much. They don't need to give us much of the episode focused on him for us to care about him as much as we do the other two. And then I was saving Ella Purnell for last because I know that my bias is always going to be with her. But yeah, I really love her so far. It's not what I thought her story was or was gonna be. I don't know what I thought it was gonna be, but yeah, I mean, kind of a depressing start to it. Now, when I started this, I did say I thought I had heard she was kind of like a positive character, and I think all things considered, that is still the case. It's funny because she wasn't like the type of positive that I was expecting her to be. She was a kind of different type of positive, but she was actually maybe even like a more realistic type of optimistic character than I expected her to be. I maybe expected her to be more cartoonish, and instead I saw like a real person there, which I would have been fine with either. Like if she was cartoonishly positive, I also love those types of characters, so I wouldn't have complained. But it feels, you know, this is a very real feeling character. She's very sort of independent, it feels like. She loves sperm and having it in her, it seems like. But I think she, like, they did a good job at the very start, immediately establishing why she has the skills that she does. So when she pulls them out, you know, later in the series, it's not going to be a shock that, oh, wait, why can she fire? Why can she fire with rifles or whatever? I think in that scene, and I want to see if I can find it, but she talked about how she isn't very good at riflery. I think they showed her, it was hard for me to see, but I think they showed her getting 9s and stuff. Yeah, they did. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't like misunderstand that scene. like she got 9s and then some 10s and stuff. I assumed it was that she was being humble about it, or that she, like, her dad maybe was really good at the rifle or whatever, and she, like, compared to him doesn't line up, or maybe she's just a perfectionist and doesn't, you know, if it's not all 10s, then she doesn't see herself as being that great. I can kind of see that being the case, you know, that she's quite hard on herself. So immediately I feel like we learn a decent amount about her and why she's so skilled, and why she can survive against, like, a raider when, you know, he kind of catches her off guard. I mean, she kind of catches him off guard as well. I think he didn't expect her to find out that he was a raider or put it together that quickly, and she put it together. But, like, very sad, because like, when I said, like, when Monty first appeared, and I looked at him and I was like, oh, he's not bad, and then I was like, but he's also, like, look at the way he's standing. He's kind of a weird guy, you know? I think, yeah, he did end up being a weird guy. Like, not just because he was a raider, but also, like, he seemed like he took too much pleasure in violence and shit. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, it seems like these raiders, you know, they're from the surface. I guess it probably stems from a place of, like, kind of jealousy, like frustrations with the vault dwellers, that they are in the vaults. Like, we are up on the surface and we're living on the surface and we have to suffer there and do whatever, while these people have, like, locked themselves down underground, and they don't let anyone in and they don't let any of them out. And they stay away from society, and they have all of these resources and they don't share them with people. I imagine that's the problem that the raiders have with them, is, like, you guys are isolating yourself from everyone else because you're too scared, and because of that, you know, like, you have all these resources and we don't, so they raid them, they take them all, and they don't feel bad about killing them all and stuff. That's what it seems like was happening there. Which, you know, kind of sucks. It does feel like like, it is one of those things where it's like the vault dwellers, they're right in a way, in that, you know, like, yeah, we need to protect our own people, and, like, this is a good way to do it, like, to make sure that we're all safe down here and that we can live happy lives. And then they were talking about plans to colonize in the next generation and stuff. Like, they do want to bring the world back, and they're not just thinking of themselves. They are kind of thinking about humanity in general. But with that being said, the idea of, like, but they're almost too paranoid about it, and they're, like, not like that. Yeah, I can see where the raiders are coming from with that side of things, but I mean, doesn't mean you go and slaughter them all and stuff, you know. That's obviously taking it too far. And it seems like the raiders were really enjoying, like, they were just eating cake while gunning people down. Like, it was pretty fucked up. And they didn't do a great job, to be honest. I mean, they got fucked up by these vault dwellers. Like, they lost almost all their people, it felt like. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a super successful mission, but they ended up getting her dad. And her dad, oh, I just remembered, her dad was like a scientist or something, right? I'm just finding what she said about it. I enjoy doing this. Science skills. Obviously mine are nothing compared to my dad's. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So her dad is a scientist, which is why he knows, like, about the radiation levels and what you need to colonize and stuff. So her dad's a scientist, so they probably took him and are using him for whatever, right? Yeah, I'm interested in Lucy's journey now. I wonder what it's going to be like, because here, honestly, is where the series could, like, make or break for me. I've talked about in videos before that I don't tend to like desert scenes in media. like there's just something, I just feel like the environment of like a desert scene and the challenges of a desert scene, I don't feel like they're super engaging to watch in media. Like a lot of my favorite media, my least favorite parts of it are the desert parts of it, you know. And I talked about this in a League of Legends video recently, but like Uncharted and John Wick and Genshin Impact, and like there's a bunch of things where like the desert part of it was my least favorite part. Although to be fair, the desert part of Genshin wasn't my least favorite part, I don't think. So maybe not that one, but I did use that example when I was playing Genshin. There was another major example that I can't quite remember off the top of my head. One Piece, that's the other major example, when they're walking through the desert in One Piece. So like I tend to not love that as much. And Fallout is kind of a wasteland. This world is kind of a wasteland. But I've played the games of Fallout. It's not all wasteland, obviously. It's a game, like they have stuff to do. And I feel like the main parts of Fallout, they don't take place in the wasteland-y bits, you know? They tend to take place in settlements and in other stuff. So I'm hoping that, especially for Lucy's storyline, that they really lean closer, more into the settlement type stuff and like meeting up with people in like dilapidated buildings and all of that, you know, like leaning into that side of things rather than I don't want it to be mainly about her moving through wasteland, moving through desert, surviving in that, you know, because that stuff is less interesting to me. But we'll see, because I think another part of that is I really like Lucy's personality. I think she, like, you know, all things considered, remained optimistic in the face of what was going on. I mean, she looked out at the world and then went like, okie dokie, like that. She is that kind of person. So like, if you have a character with a personality like that, I want them to take advantage of that by her having a lot of interactions with people, because that's going to be where the character is at its most fun, I think. Is instead of like keeping her isolated, put her around other characters that she can bounce off of. Because also, it felt like Ella Purnell, and as I've said, I haven't seen Ella Purnell live action acting as much. And I think what stood out to me is she did seem to have a good chemistry with everyone in each of the scenes she was in. Like, I could feel a distinct chemistry with her and her dad, and her and her brother, and her and the cousin that wants to fuck her, and her and and Monty, you know, like she had a different but distinct and really real feeling chemistry with each of them. So I want to see more of that chemistry with other characters. I think it'll be fun. So yeah, I wonder if at some point she's going to meet up with Maximus, and I'd like to see what their interactions could be. But also, that might not happen, you know? They might just not meet up, and these are like 3 separate stories. Although the Ghoul and Maximus... No, you know what? All 3 stories do link up, because the Ghoul and Maximus are both going for the same dude. That glasses dude and his dog, right? So they both have the same goal. And then they also mentioned the name, what was the name again? Moldava, which is the last name of the woman one of the raiders, Lee Moldava. So yeah, like the fact that like she was mentioned means that Lucy's probably going to the same place. So these 3 characters are going to meet up. The question is, are they going to meet up during season 1? I don't know what their plan is for this show. I don't know if it's supposed to be a more long-term show. I think it's supposed to be more than 1 season. I think it's supposed to be at least 2 seasons. But is it the sort of thing where we wrap up some of the major storylines in this season, or is it like we're barely going to scratch the surface? I don't know, but I'm excited about it. We do have the big question of like, is Max the one? And don't confirm or deny this in the comments. Like, even if the show hasn't said it or whatever, don't tell me whether or not this is the case in the comments. Sometimes people do say it when I'm just giving hypothetical questions. But my rhetorical questions is what I meant to say. My rhetorical question is, did Max do it? Was he the one to put the thing in their boot? Because it's really hard for me to know. It feels like they're setting up to tell us later in the season that he did do it. You know, like that's what it feels like to me. Is like we are watching it thinking like, well, he can't have, because like, would he have wanted to hurt his friend? Like, he actually does feel bad for his friend. And like he admitted that he wanted it to happen, but he didn't say I did it. But he also didn't say constantly like, no, I didn't do it. Like when Dane talked to him about it, they were like, they said it was you. And then he was like, yeah, they said that to me too. But then they didn't discuss it further. They didn't go like, was it you? Can you just tell me? Like, can you just say, no, it wasn't me? So I don't know. Like, there was a silent understanding there of like, I wouldn't do that to you, I think. But is that the truth? Is that actually the case? Because I don't know. We did see that scene of him getting really fucking pissed and beating up the toilet. So he was pissed about it, but you know, just being pissed about it doesn't mean you're going to do something horrible to your friend. Like one of your only major friends in this place. Seems like his only major friend, to be honest, his only friend, because I didn't see him talking to anyone else. So like doing that shit to his only friend would be pretty fucked up. But I mean, like, the reason he's doing this is he said he's doing this to hurt the people who hurt me. So he might already be kind of fucked up, you know? Like, he's single-handedly or single-minded on what he's trying to achieve. I don't know. I think he did it. My current theory is that he did do it. And, because he was also, like, so happy about the promotion, and it just felt like his plan worked out, you know, like it worked better than he could imagine. I think he did it. I think he does feel guilty about it, and he, you know, he was genuinely in that moment when he's talking to the Mr. Robot Man. He felt awful, and I think that's part of what inspired him to like say, you can, you know, you kill me and I can give up my life for the Brotherhood of Steel, because I think he was feeling terrible in that scene. But then once it worked out for him, I do think those guilty feelings faded away a bit, because he was smiling a lot after that, you know, because he's starting to achieve his goals after that. So, and also I think it probably helped he talked to Dane afterwards, and they didn't seem so torn up about it. Like they'd clearly come to terms with the fact that they're not going anymore. And I don't know. It's also possible Dane just knew that it was him and was basically like, look, I forgive you. Like in that silently was giving him that vibe. I don't know. But I don't know. We really don't know. But yeah, I kept mentioning that Mr. Robot guy because that's an actor. If you haven't seen Mr. Robot, it's a great show. I only just finished season 3. But there's a character in Mr. Robot who's like a businessman type guy. He's played by that same actor, and he just has such a weird way of speaking, and especially like Mr. Robot has some like very wild dialogue. I feel like very absurd sounding dialogue, especially early in the series, where it's like these characters aren't speaking like people. It feels very otherworldly for some reason. So that actor doing lines, like I was always like, this guy's fucking odd. And since I hadn't seen him in anything else as well, it was, you know, like I'd seen Christian Slater and other things, and I'd seen Rami Malek and other things, but I had never seen this guy in anything else. And so hearing this guy delivering weird lines weirdly, it was like, I wasn't seeing an actor. I was just seeing, this is a guy who only exists within the world of Mr. Robot. And this is the first time that I've seen him in something that isn't Mr. Robot. And like, I was like, whoa, it's really weird seeing him, because now I'm kind of assuming all of his lines are extra weird, which, I mean, this character was kind of weird as well, but this character was more like a religious nut, you know. There was a different kind of weird than like a sort of very single-minded psychopathic businessman that he plays in Mr. Robot. But yeah. Anyway, that was Fallout episode 1. I had a decent amount to discuss, and I think, yeah, that's because I did genuinely really like it. I had a great time. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about the show, but I was excited to watch it. I was excited to try it. And I also didn't realize it was an hour 14, the first episode. How long is the second episode? Is it also similarly long? I'm just gonna check right now while I can. It is, episode 2 is 1 hour 5. Yeah, so they're all over an hour, it seems like, probably, I imagine. I don't know that they're all over an hour. Let me just check a random episode here. Like, I'll check episode 4. No, episode 4 is 48 minutes. Okay, so they vary in length. So it seems like maybe the first few episodes are extra long. But yeah, I kind of expected it to be like 40 minutes, and then it ended up being like an hour 10, an hour 15, whatever it was. So it was longer than I expected. I tend to prefer shorter shows overall, but that's not a rule. That's just like a tendency. And I was kind of like, when Lucy's first bit ended and we jumped to Maximus, and I was like, oh my god, I thought the episode was ending and we're like barely into it. From that point on, like, the episode still continued and felt really well paced, and I was learning a decent amount. I didn't have any problems with the length in this episode at all. I had absolutely no problems. Every scene felt necessary and good and well paced, and I didn't get bored at all. So I hope it keeps it up throughout the series. I hope every episode I don't get bored at any point, and I don't start to, because what I worry about is if it loses me for a bit and I start to fade out during the scenes and I miss something, or I miss some major plot points, and then I don't understand the character's motivations anymore, then I'd probably enjoy the show a lot less. And I'm really, because that happens to me sometimes, and I hate it. And it's like, I know it's mostly my fault, but I just don't know. I just suck sometimes. So I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen for this show. I'm really trying to make sure I pay attention and follow it, because I really enjoyed what I saw here. But anyway, that's Fallout episode 1. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, and you can get next week's episode on there right now. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.